G'day friends, welcome to day 17 of Mermay 2024. Today's piece is a little interesting. I used my circle stencil for this one, and I think I did, hang on, let me see how many pages back it was. I guess it doesn't really matter because it's not the same day, like these aren't different days, but a bunch of pages back, you may or may not see it through this flip. I'm sure you will see it because it was what inspired this piece. I did a couple of mermaids in bubbles, and I used my circle stencil and kind of took the same idea that I did for day 2, the one that I made the tutorial about, those kind of retro Japanese looking mermaids. I used that, but I did the whole thing within a circle. So instead of doing it in a column, I used my circle stencil and made sure that the whole mermaid kind of fit in there. And I just had a fun time doing it. They do not look like the prettiest, cutest, most beautiful, pleasing mermaids in the whole world, but I just thought it was fun. I mean, sometimes when I get the mood to do something, like I just feel like I want to do something, I feel like it's a creative frenzy. I don't know if you've heard me use that term before. You've done any one of my workshops, you've heard me use that term way too much. But if I get this feeling like, what if I did that? I think I should chase that down always, because I never know where that inspiration is going to go if I don't, and I want to see what happens. And usually it leads to at least some good fun playtime. It doesn't always lead to great results, but I don't think I have to make great results every time I sit down and enjoy myself. So that is kind of the creative frenzy I went on, and I thought I'm going to do a whole page of them. I'm going to do them at different sizes, switch it up a little bit here and there, and just enjoy kind of revisiting day 2 with a new tissue. Here we go. Excuse me. With a new parameter, like a new perimeter border. They're not in columns, they're in circles. I use my stencil for this. So people always ask what that orange stencil is. It's a Fiskars cutting stencil that my mum got from some scrapbooking party back in the early 2000s. She had a whole suitcase full of scrapbooking stuff that she bought from this, what I'm assuming is the Tupperware equivalent for scrapbooking. And yeah, so she bought all this stuff, and she had this Fiskars kind of rotating cutter, and it came with these plastic stencils, so you would just have to pop the thing on and kind of push into it and it would cut, and that was the whole circle stencil one. I have rectangles, squares, and circles, and those have come with me from Australia. Like, those are so valuable to me that I travel internationally with them, apparently. I've always loved it. It's just the most random, useless piece of junk that I have in my studio, but I get so much use out of it. So I use that as the stencil that I used for all my circles, because I liked being able to draw up into the circle stencil, not having to draw the circle and just draw inside of it. Can you literally see I'm having nasal drip on screen? This is so embarrassing. But this is what I get. This is what I get for doing a daily challenge in spring. Other days I would just wait until I'm ready to film, but it's not going to happen, so we're going to have to deal with that. The window's shut. That's why I'm having extra allergies today. Someone said that the saying tissue after you sneeze might be a Central Coast thing. Possibly. I was raised on the Central Coast, but I don't know. I thought it was just my mum saying it, and I just picked it up. Now I feel like I haven't finished a sneeze unless I've said tissue. And sometimes I won't say it straight away if I'm in an awkward situation. I'll sneeze, and then, like, under my breath, a minute later, I'll say tissue, just because it feels like it's not finished. So it feels like also like a mental problem that I have. But that's really funny to think that I'm not the only person that says tissue after that. I might have to see. I wonder, I'll ask someone else from the Central Coast if that's something they're familiar with. Otherwise, it might just be us too. Your family, my family. Weirdos. Speaking of weirdos, I just finished watching Baby Reindeer. I kind of binge watched it over 2 nights, last night and the night before. It is such a fascinating show and such a hard watch at times. I'm not going to recommend it to everybody because I don't think it's a great show for everyone to watch, but I have this real fascination with just the human experience, how people are, what they do. And I mean, I was honestly equally fascinated by both of them and both of their choices and both of what they were up to. And it was just really interesting to see that kind of story play out. I don't think I've really ever watched something like that before. And I am so, like, I just wish I could turn on, a part of my brain and experience what Martha was experiencing just for like half an hour, just to know what that feels like, to know like that you're being too much, but you're also actually stalking someone and you're having all those crazy feelings, and like you know, inferring things that didn't mean what they meant. And it just is so fascinating to me to be like what she must be thinking, because she believed it was all real too. Like, I tried to watch the Piers Morgan interview afterwards, but I fell asleep because I was watching it in bed. I watched the first 2 minutes of it, then I was knocked out. But I am more interested to go and see what the person who is allegedly based off of has to say. Like, is it even really confirmed that's her? I'm sure it is, because why would she? But I thought the whole thing was interesting. Now, they do say it's a true story. I guess that's the reason she went on the Piers Morgan show, was because a lot of it seems to be fictionalized. I don't really know. Does anyone really know? Even with the fictionalized parts, you know, I guess to make for great TV, they probably could have done without it, and I would have been so fascinated. But if that all did happen, then what a crazy story. Also totally believable. I don't think there's anything that really happened that I was like, oh, that's just made for TV. All of those things are, you know, things that do happen to people. So it was really, really interesting. So I had a really good time watching that. Last night, I was also dancing yesterday. It was a beautiful day to dance. It was really overcast and had a really nice cool breeze. I might have even been a bit chilly, which is really interesting for a parade. I don't usually, well, I mean, in Christmas time, I can get a bit cold, but usually in between, once you're out there dancing, it doesn't matter how cold it is, you'll be sweating. So it's not like it stops you from sweating, but just a really nice experience to dance in the breeze. And I feel like today might be the same day. It looks like it's going to rain. I hope not, because I still want to go out and do it. But the clouds are all in. Everything's grey. There's a nice cool breeze to the air, and that's just such a treat to dance in. I'm going to start coughing. Why? Pardon me. I printed out a whole bunch of photos for my 5-year. I think I told you that. So I'm really up to date in my 5-year. I have I've done this new little thing. It's so cute, but so random, and I feel like I'm not going to show anybody because only you guys would get it. But these are for the days I work at Disneyland. I've just made like little stickers because it's the same shift each time, and it's 4 days a week. I was not sick of writing it over and over again. I actually do like tedious tasks like that. But I just kind of wanted to do something new and fun and give myself stickers to put down, because as much as I like to, you know, write all them out, I also love to put stickers down in pages. So they're in my journal now. And it's really funny because this part of my journal are the 4 days that I'm always scheduled to work. So technically this side of the page is all going to be the same shift for the next few months anyway. But I've got the stickers. I'm using them back there. I made a whole bunch. Like I made tons, probably tons more than I needed. So it's also in my planner this way. I haven't shown you my planner in ages. This is the Hobonichi Weeks. I'm not quite sure what this cover was called. I got it because it was the only one that I felt like I would be interested in from the lineup that I saw. I really loved my 101 Dalmatians one from the year before, so sometimes I still think I'm using that, and I flip the cover and I'm like, oh, it's just that cat. The cat is fine, it's cute, it's pretty, but I did love my 101 Dalmatians, probably because it was red, and red's my favorite color, and super bold. But my Galen leather cover that has the little JLB embossing down here, it's Crazy Horse leather. It's got some pockets and a zip. I never use the zip. I don't know why I keep buying things with zips. I never use them. I also never use pen holders, so these are all just extra bits and pieces that I don't need. However, it's the perfect size. It lays flat, which I do love, and it is so pliable and delicious to feel. I will put my hand creams on and just pick up this journal and just massage it. And I know that's not like leather conditioner, but I figured if it's moisturizing my skin, it can moisturize this journal too. I'm not precious with it. There's scratches and scuffs all over it, and this just feels super lived in. How long have I had this? 2 years? I don't know. One of my faves. I just love to pick it up and hold it. I love how soft and... Ooh, I love that. I love the feeling of it. I know you can relate to that if you're a leather journal lover. Tell me though, because people obviously for different reasons, ethical reasons and such, don't use leather and use other types of journals. I've seen cork, I've seen faux leather, which is like plastic. What else do people use? Canvas, cloth, all types. Do you have the same experience of loving the wear on it, and does it become more pliable and kind of patina and age with you? And is that something that you found in non-natural materials? Not that cork's not natural, I guess other fibers are natural, but in non-leather goods, because it's a distinct feature of owning leather goods that I think a lot of us really enjoy. But then there are obviously a lot of people that don't subscribe to that. So what do you have that same experience? Is that something you enjoy? Or is there a different factor that you like about it? That it does stay pristine, or that you can wash it? You chuck it in the wash? You put it in your put it in a pillowcase, put it on a spin cycle? I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty much a leather journal lover when it comes to like traveler's notebooks and Hobonichi Weeks, like those sizes of notebooks. Actually, A5, I got a lot of A5 covers as well. Not a lot, I got 2, I think. And then for the most part, I'm just back into hardcover. This is a hardcover journal. The other journal I'm using at the moment that's over there is a hardcover journal. I'm really having a thing for hardcovers again. And the thing I used to not like about them is that I'd crack the spine. And so I felt like it just jeopardized the integrity of the book, having, essentially a cover that could fly away from the bulk of the journal. But now I guess I don't really care. And even my mind about it is like, I'll just stick an elastic band around it. I don't really care because I do love the hardcover. I don't know. I'm just having a thing for hardcover at the moment. So that's where I'm at journal-wise. Do I have anything else to say? Here's my pot of things that I've been most frequently using. Some interesting things to note. This I got from an Art Snacks box. It's a super duper chunky permanent acrylic marker, an Edding marker. It's called Mellow Mint. It's a really nice mint color. I've been using some Posca markers. Those have come in handy as well. I got these from Art Snacks box as well. It's the Jelly Roll 08. There's a silver, gold, and white, but they're retractable. They don't actually have lids. The lid is the push, but you can't take it off and put it on the top because it's just supposed to be retractable, and that's supposed to keep it alive, I guess. Obviously loving my mechanical pencil. I still always usually go back to the monograph, the Tombow monograph 0.5. Remember I used to love these ones. These used to be my fave. Maybe I'll just put one in there just in case because I really loved these ones as well. These were the Pilot OPT 0.5. I'd say these have been my top 2 most used mechanical pencils. Mechanical pencils are usually all one in the same, especially once I've gone through one lead. I have replacement leads, so they all become the same lead. It's just the ergonomics of the barrel that changes, and I feel like I might, switch up from time to time. I think that's about it. I wouldn't say anything else I've been using in here like crazy. I've been loving my traveler's notebook pen, my travel pen as well. This little thing that looks like a bullet. I do love that. I love how fine that tip is, and it's just feels really old school to use a ballpoint pen to draw sometimes. Yeah, those are significant, noteworthy little pieces in there. I've been using my connector pens as well. That's been a good time. Bianca, are you alright over there? Do you need something? Can you hear her? Alright, I gotta go. Oh, let me put this back. I gotta go. I'll be dancing again today, and Steve and I are actually going into work together, which is nice. So I'm gonna get myself sorted. Thanks for watching day 17 of Mermay. I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a lovely start to your weekend. See you then. Bye.